My bad this morning. I was trying different stuff. So I was trying to do the camera. I was trying to do the camera the other way because I have a cool lens on this camera. So like I could have like a wider shot. But unfortunately, it wasn't working, and I wasn't able to read the chats, and it was just there was a lag on my other phone. So all those things, and then the ghost came to haunt the episode as he normally does, which is fine. But when you're juggling all those things, it's a little weird. So, anyways, I wanted to quickly talk about. I'm going to go light first, then we'll get into the more interesting stuff, I guess. I finally was able to track down Fairlife milk. Yeah, the chocolate milk. And yeah, I was finally able to track it down. And I got 2 bottles of it. And it's like, it's Canada. So everything's like short, or every store's short of stuff now, like basic stuff. But it's like the best chocolate milk I've ever had in my life. Like, it's the best. It has a high amounts of protein in it, so it'll keep you kind of more full. All this good stuff, right? But anyways, then my cousin tells me, "Oh, you didn't know about Fairlife?" And I'm like, "No, what? What did I not know?" And I've already drank like 1 bottle of this Fairlife already. I drank some of it, and I used it to make the ice cream, the protein ice cream. So, oh boy. Um, yeah, anyways, my cousin was like, "You didn't know Fairlife milk has a lot of microplastics in it?" And I was just like, "No, it doesn't, man." I was just like, "There's no way. There's no way." So I looked it up, and of course, it's got microplastics. Fairlife milk has a high percentage of microplastics in it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much. I just quickly did some Googling, and that's it. But yeah, it has a high percentage of microplastics, unfortunately, in the Fairlife milk. So if you buy that, if you're using that, you might not be aware of that. So just something to be aware of. Fairlife milk has been known to have microplastics, and a lot of dairy products actually have microplastics. It's not just Fairlife, but Fairlife has kind of been singled out as like being really bad, which sucks because it's always sold out. Like it's like a struggle out here to try to get that chocolate milk, the Fairlife chocolate milk, right? So when I finally find it, it's like yes, uh, and then no, I already drank it. I just crushed it this morning actually. Fairlife chocolate milk. So yeah, microplastics. Anyways, we were talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that. And maybe this will put some back on the shelves. If you start seeing it back on the shelves, well, you won't, because most people won't know this. That most people are probably unaware, like I was. You are. You are fun. Okay. Yeah, my bad. I guess I'm not that fun. Whatever. Um, yeah, so anyways, I wanted to talk about Lapu-Lapu Festival. FTM. I thought you said fun. I don't know what that means. Anyways, Lapu-Lapu Fest. This happened a while ago now, where that guy drove into people, killed about 11 people. It was very sad. The whole thing was really bad, actually. It was very horrific. A lot of it's online, so that makes it even worse. You could pull up clips of this stuff. But I just remember the timing of it. So the timing of it was weird to me. That's what I would say. The timing of the Lapu-Lapu festival incident was very strange. What stood out about the timing of it was a few days after the election. So I don't want to get into conspiracies, but maybe I do want to get it. I'm more about not so much getting into the conspiracy of it. I'm more about you think about it for yourself and you decide. It was literally a few days before the election, the federal election. And there were certain people that could make it there that were already in that area that could go there right away and say, like, give their condolences. And then there were people on opposite ends of the earth that had no chance of getting there in time for the election. So I just want to make those 2 points very clear about the Lapu-Lapu festival. The election was coming up. This horrific incident happened. The timing of it is crazy to me. It was weird as hell. The other thing I wanted to say about it, the guy that did it was, when you look at him, because it's all on video, right? So when you look at this guy and it's always the same kind of look they have. I'm not saying like race. It's the same look. I'm saying like when they do something like that, the look is always in shock. Like they woke up and they don't know why people are around them. It's kind of that facial expression it's like when what's a good example? Someone that just had was just convulsing, like a seizure, and then they come back to normal. Then they're so confused and disoriented. That's the feeling. That's what I see from a lot of these people. Well, yes, that's right. 100%. Shout out to Mr. Whenever Gaming. Yep, I'm glad you're drawing your own conclusions. I'm not saying like this was a big plan I'm saying would it surprise you if it was? Would it surprise you if it was? Is what I'm saying. Does any of this surprise you anymore? When you see, I'm talking like this, we can bring up Kirk, we can bring up like there's so many different times this has happened. What I'm also saying is, we can bring up the most recent shooting in Tumbler Ridge. Like nothing surprises me. That's right. So a lot of this stuff doesn't surprise me anymore either, and that's why that just stood out to me. Like when you first pull into Vegas and you're like you see all the lights, it's like it's just shining bright in my face like that. Election, mass, big crazy incident. Election, like that's kind of what it does to me. And I'm like, that's weird. That's a little weird. How is that lined up? That's pretty weird. What a crazy coincidence there, right? Like, and you could always kind of like, I don't know. That's the thing though. Like I couldn't see it coming. None of us could predict it was going to happen, but it happened. And another thing I want you to ask yourself, it's not about me proving it to you. It's more about, do you think that will affect an election? An incident like that happening, and then certain people that can be voted for get there right away. They're the first ones there, and they're already hugging people and taking photos and really putting it on thick and pouring it on thick, I guess, because I don't think these people are real people. They're robots. I mean, they're not robots, but they're almost robots. They're almost there. Like they're pretty they're pretty controlled, I'd say. Anyways, that's what I saw. I saw it, and I think people that could not be there, do you think that affects an election? And I think it does. Um, I think it does. So I just want to bring that out. And I was also talking about the person that did it. He just looks stunned. And I understand there's a shock factor. People were he was like near a fence or something, and people were like yelling at him, but they kind of could tell that he was not there. Like, so that's why he didn't really get beat up. He was kind of being protected a little bit. And I remember all of this like pretty good. I didn't watch anything before I came on live, but I just remember that. And I was like, oh, that is messed up. And then, you know, future events now, every event outdoor, this has to be a consideration for public safety now. Like, now we have to, things have to be done a certain way to prevent another incident. So it becomes it becomes this big security risk now, when it was supposed to be a community thing, right? It was supposed to be a community thing where people could go, support Lapu-Lapu City, and then the culture and the food and all that stuff. That's what it was supposed to be. But now every event from here on is a huge security thing. Now people, when they go to live events, we just had one this weekend, and I was kind of like, I didn't think anything was going to happen. The reason I didn't go was because the weather was kind of not great. So that's the reason I didn't end up going. But people are rethinking this kind of stuff. Should they go out? Like, and I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that's good for community. And I guess thinking more about public safety, sure. But realistically, if someone is motivated to do something like this, all your precautions that you take are not really going to work. They will plan and they will go around all your precautions. You know what I mean? They're still going to do what they're going to do, is what I'm saying. So it's a false sense of public safety. I guess it's a bit more safer. They're probably making it harder for someone to drive and knock people over, which that's a good thing. But, I just think something about the timing of that. And then this, if you look at the snap election before, the snap election was in 2021. Okay. I think it was in September, right? So that's the 9th month. The snap election, September 2021. And the Kamloops gravesite was in May. But I remember when that story broke out about Kamloops and there being graves, and that was a big deal. There was a huge deal with that. There were lots of things going on. There was a lot of people wearing orange. There was, as far as politics, they were talking about it. It was a big issue, a big discussion. And, some people really did a good job buttering up that community. And I think maybe that could have decided that election. It's more of a reach, but it's not as close as this one. This one's a few days apart, but it just shows that was another huge event that happened before an election. And you just wonder, like, are these things connected? Was pushing that story and then running an election an idea? Like, was that a thought that a team thought about? Was it an organized thing? Was it like, okay, all right, we're going to really go in on this topic and we're going to really outdo all the other parties on it and we're going to win the election with it? Like, is that the thought behind this? Because it was weird. And then later on, you found out that story was not actually accurate about the graves. Like, and that took years for the public to understand. And they still don't. Some people will never understand. They might never know about it. It's like the Fairlife milk and microplastics. They will still drink it. That will still sell out off the shelves because a lot of people might know and not care, or a lot of people don't know and don't care. And I don't know. It's a little weird. That's all I'm saying. It's a little strange. But I would say that is more because of the gap. I can't really link those two. But this last one, 100%. 100%. Very strange. It's like it's like another thing. So I'm just looking at patterns, right? And I'm just showing you the patterns. I'll show you another pattern. After this, there was this worldwide freedom convoy that happened in Canada. It sparked across the world, like everywhere. You could find videos everywhere of this happening, where trucks drove and they had the Canadian flag. Like, there were different countries. You could find video of this. But right after the military police, whatever police that was, came to Ottawa and beat up everybody, they basically shut it down. After that happened, literally the next day, the next headline, like, just like whoosh, like right, just like that, just like that. Like, okay, we're on this now. It was the war in Ukraine. That war started right after that. The timing of it, go look it up yourself, do your own research on it. The timing was insane though. Like, it was bizarre. I couldn't believe it. But you decide on that. I'm not going to tell you what that was. I just saw it. And I'm not someone that, like, okay, we're focusing to now, we're going to focus on this. Now we're focusing on Katy Perry rubbing her genitalia in somebody's face. Like, that's some headline right now. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I think it's BS. Maybe it's real. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, it's just another thing comes out. Another thing comes out. So that happened. So that's one pattern, right? This great thing where, like, people all came together in, like, with love and peace, and then the total opposite happens, war, right? And then another pattern I could look at is the files. So these files get put out, pages and pages and pages and pages, and then instantly, as you think it's getting some kind of traction, then boom, war in Iran, right? Just like that, distraction, back to the war. These are things that just, like, they kind of just, like, I can't not see it. You know what I mean? It's very hard to, like, ignore that's happening, especially when you're, like, not really. I don't want to pay attention, but when they really push it in your face on your phones and whatever, it's like an Amber Alert. It's like meow 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 meow, right? Like, you can't ignore those. Those are super weird too, right? I've talked about all those. We may as well talk about all these things all in one episode to make it a banger, like that. I don't hear those too many. I don't hear the Amber Alerts as much as I did before. So that's interesting to me. Oh, let me just there we go. But yeah, so, like, I'm just showing you the patterns, right? So that was a pattern. This happened. People thought, okay, we're going to get somewhere with this. Oh, boom, distraction, heavy-handedness, war, back to war, right? Great distraction. Also, just the way they released it, they kind of, it's almost like they studied, okay, we're going to release the Pfizer documents, but let's make it really long and frivolous, like, so no one will ever spend the time reading it, and then drop it, and then put a distraction down. And so, like, the way they did the Pfizer docs, It was another pattern I noticed. It was very similar to how they did the Epstein doc. Same thing. Like, pretty crazy though. Yeah. These patterns. If you see the patterns, that's great. If you don't see the patterns, then I really hate. I'm going to be real with you. I hate how this hoodie looks. I regret wearing this hoodie. This is a weird fit. You know? It's a weird, if you could tell I'm like adjusting, that's what that is. I just think it looks weird and I keep looking at it. I'm like, it's actually bugging me a little bit. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff I've noticed, some of the patterns. If you didn't notice it, maybe it's all a coincidence. Maybe they're all just coincidences, right? I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm saying I see it. It stands out to me. It's weird as hell. And, you know, and congrats to NASA. They just went to space again. That was great. That was great. um, I'm so amazed by it. It was incredible. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing that happened just now. I don't know what they were doing out there. I don't know. It probably was very expensive though. If you look at how much it cost, maybe focus in on how much that cost every time they do that and why they're doing it. I get it. I get it. No, I don't. Anyways, yeah, it's a good time. Started a little bit later, had a little hiccup earlier, but we're here. And yeah, I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I think this year is going to be a good one for movies. Like we got the Michael Jackson movie. I've mentioned that one. We got Mortal Kombat, and I don't know if anybody's heard of this movie called The Last Drag or The White Dragon or The Last Dragon. I don't even know. So I'm not a Power Rangers dude. Like I don't watch that stuff. Like it's I probably watched it when it first came out. You know, I was a kid, but I don't really watch it. So I'm very out of the loop with it. But everybody knows Green Ranger in that TV show, in that franchise. He was kind of a big star in that show. His movie is being released, which is very interesting. I think it's called The Last Dragon or The White Dragon, something like that. His movie, though, he actually died during filming it. So, like, yeah. So, and then they shelved the movie, I think, for a bit, but I heard they finished it and it's gonna be released this year. So, just because of that guy, I'll probably watch the movie, and I'm kind of interested to see how they finish the movie. It's kind of similar to like, I mean, it's not similar. The Crow, Brandon Lee, he was killed on set. This guy, you know, he was suffering with depression and stuff, and he, you know, that's what happened to him. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see someone's last piece of work, you know, for this big movie, and I think it'll have a lot of eyes on it. But you know, I'm already seeing like 3 or 4 good movies. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to mention the new Scary Movie with the Wayans brothers. They're going to be in this one. That's a movie I can't wait to see as well. I don't think it was filmed out here. I think it was filmed in, I don't know, probably in the States somewhere. I don't know if it was filmed out here though, but I know the first one was filmed in Steveston, Richmond, BC. So if you watch the first Scary Movie, you'll notice that. But there's a lot of movies that are I'm looking forward to watching this year. So it's almost like the way, you know, people hint and say, "Oh, film industry is like dying." I don't know. I think this year is going to be a good year for it. I think just some of the stuff coming out, they really need good results for each of these movies. I heard something about the Michael Jackson movie. If it breaks over 700 million, they'll do a sequel on it. So I have no idea. Like I said, I don't put too much weight into the stuff I hear anymore because I don't always believe it, right? Like this Katy Perry story going on. I don't know if there's truth to it. I think it's weird that, when people bring up stuff from like 20 years ago, I think it's weird. That stands out to me. Why didn't you bring it up 20 years ago? But whatever, whatever. It's Tuesday today, so Quiznos no longer does that sub, as I mentioned. So you can't get that sub. I think it's the traditional sub today. So if you're hungry, maybe Quiznos traditional sub. Is that what it is? I have no idea. But yeah, Ghost was in this one. I don't know where he didn't come back. He kind of came and he was doing his thing, and then he bounced. I had to redo my camera. Oh well. I said his name. He might roll up. But yeah, nobody. Who's in the people are watching. Who's there? Who do I have on? I'll shout you guys out. I'll shout some accounts out. Just type in K, period. Type in K and I'll shout you out right now. Because I am going to end this live, I think. I got to get going. I started a little later than I wanted to. Anybody? Any of you guys want to shout out right now? Just leave a comment. Just go. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to talk about this Johnjeet Singh guy. I kind of study how he moves, on the streets. He's a very funny guy. He's a funny guy. And I just think when he talks, I feel like he's got some type of I think he grew up watching a lot of Yogi Bear. When he talks, his delivery and how he talks reminds me of Yogi Bear. Next time you watch Johnjeet Singh, I want you to think about that. This guy watched a lot of Yogi Bear when he was a kid. I guarantee it. Well, we might not know. If anyone if they were ever to remake that movie, it should be Johnjeet Singh as Yogi Bear harassing the park rangers or harassing. It would be I think it would be a banger. I think it would be a good movie. He'd be the main guy. He just has the delivery. I think of Yogi Bear. I think that's why, people are drawn to his videos because it's funny. It is funny. You can't say he's not funny. He's hilarious. And the crash out, the Skytrain video of the guy calling him on to fight, man, I could not stop laughing at that. That was one of those things, watching it from the internet, you're a fly on the wall of that Skytrain. It was that was a funny video. And yeah, that guy was it's almost like that guy looked like he knew this guy, and he's like, all right, today's the day, buddy. Today's your day. Oh man. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. I guess we're out. Have a nice day. And yeah, think about those things I brought up. Okay. What? I don't think I broke any community guidelines in this episode. We're just talking. So I was just bringing up some things. You think about it yourself. If you feel the patterns, if you notice patterns, it's like a baccarat table. If you've ever played at the casino, the table, a thing is going to happen, right? On the table when you're playing baccarat, you're going to see patterns happen. It's going to go banker, 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 player, 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 banker, banker, banker. And it's like you can start betting on that and you can start winning some money if you understand the patterns. When people lose their money in that game, it's when it's jumping from player, banker. And then some people, I'll actually start betting player, banker. I'll be betting on it jumping, but when that happens, I usually lose. Like I'm not good when it's jumping. I'm better at that game when it's consistent patterns. So, sometimes I'll go banker, banker, player, banker, player, banker, banker, player. You know what I mean? Like patterns though. You see the pattern, you still don't know what's next. Same thing with all these patterns we're seeing. I don't know what's next. I really don't know. And I don't care. I don't care. All I can do is control my own pattern and not give it my time, not give it my energy, right? I know I did today. I gave it a lot, but I wanted to hopefully, reach out to anybody that might be seeing the same thing or feeling the same thing. But anyways, I will end it at that. Have a great morning. God bless. Yeah. Take care.